to be willing to do whatever it takes to seize your moment.
All it took was 49 seconds. 49 seconds to completely flip Coco on its head. The twist that made audiences gasp, spill their popcorn, and side-eye every musician forever. At first, Ernesto de la Cruz is the man. Charismatic, talented, and rocking one too many catchphrases. Miguel idolizes him. The land of the dead worships him, and us, we're all in. Until we're not. Because in 49 seconds, the truth shatters everything, turning Coco from a heartwarming tale into a full-blown betrayal saga. Let's break down the 49 seconds that made history, starting with the build-up which allowed it to work so well.
That I can be until you're in my arms again.
For most of Coco, Ernesto de la Cruz is portrayed as this almost godlike figure. He's basically Elvis Presley meets Vicente Fernandez meets a Disney prince who actually made it. He's a legend among legends. He's got the voice, the fame, and most importantly, the endorsement of some very stylish skeletons. Everything about him screams beloved hero of Mexico. And because Miguel is a tiny bit obsessed, we get to see his journey to meet his supposed great-great-grandfather, who, spoiler alert, is not his great-great-grandfather, but is a murder-loving fraud. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Fast forward to the fiesta of the century. Ernesto is throwing an absolute rager in the land of the dead. There's music, there's glamour, and there are skulls doing synchronized swimming, because apparently that's what happens when you're that famous in the afterlife. Miguel is finally face to face with his idol, and Ernesto welcomes him with open arms. Everything seems perfect. Miguel is like, wow, this is my great-great-grandpa. He's incredible. And we, the audience, are like, aw, this is so wholesome. But wait, there's a note of tension, small, almost imperceptible, like a single off-key chord in an otherwise perfect song. The kind of thing you don't notice until it's too late. Now, Ernesto and Miguel are just vibing, having a casual chat. You know, some good old-fashioned family bonding between a bright-eyed kid and a self-obsessed celebrity who radiates more red flags than a bullfighting arena. But something's off. The conversation isn't going quite the way it should.
I am sorry to see you go, Miguel. I hope you die very soon.
And then, boom! Hector comes clunking through the door like a one-skeleton wrecking crew. Now, at this point, we don't know much about this forgotten, mildly bitter, and incredibly lanky skeleton, except that he's suspiciously good at music and very bad at staying quiet. Naturally, we're mostly just annoyed that Miguel's blessing got interrupted. I mean, look at that. Nobody wants that. Miguel is literally dissolving into the afterlife like an existential Snapchat filter. And this random skeleton just barges in, waving his arms? Sir, read the room. But here's where things get murky. Because, sure, Ernesto is throwing out major villain vibes, but we still don't fully trust Hector either. And neither does Miguel. See? He's leaning in closer to his great-great-grandfather. Or is he subconsciously stepping towards danger? And then, casually, as if he's just reminiscing about an old band breakup, Hector drops the bombshell.
Hector, please.
Those were my songs you took. My songs that made you famous.
He used to write songs with Ernesto. Huh, interesting. Wait, Hector used to write songs with Ernesto? And he was on his way home when he mysteriously died? Oh, no. Hector, sweet cinnamon roll skeleton that he is, just wanted to leave the touring life behind and go home to his daughter. You know, be a good dad, settle down, maybe start a family band where no one gets murdered. Seems reasonable. But Ernesto? Oh no, Ernesto couldn't have that because Ernesto wasn't just a talented singer. No. He was also a snake, and not the fun kind from a Disney movie.
There's something I need to tell you.
And what do snakes do? They poison their best friends. Flashback to the past, when Hector was about to walk away. Ernesto, our charismatic, seemingly benevolent superstar, offers him a farewell drink, a peace offering, a brotherly toast to friendship. Except, it's less of a toast and more of a murder attempt in a bottle. One sip, one moment, and Hector collapses face down, body limp, poisoned by the man he thought was his best friend. And just like that, Ernesto takes his guitar, his songs, his entire musical legacy. We, the audience, gasp, scream, throw our popcorn. It's a betrayal so cold, so calculated, that even Shakespearean villains are watching from the afterlife like, damn bro, that's a bit much. And if that wasn't bad enough, Ernesto doesn't just get away with it, he thrives. The world remembers him as a musical genius. Meanwhile, Hector, forgotten, a literal ghost. Ernesto de la Cruz, you absolute monster! Sweet, innocent, emotionally unprepared Miguel pieces it together in real time. His hero, his inspiration, the man he has worshipped since birth. A fraud, a liar, a murderer. The literal worst possible great-great-grandfather. Like, if you made a tier list of bad ancestors, Ernesto wouldn't just be at the bottom, he'd have his own special tier in hell. And Miguel? He is not okay. He stares, mouth open, eyes wide, his brain short-circuiting like a Windows XP error screen. Because this isn't just some random villain reveal. No. This is his idol, the man whose music literally runs through his veins. The reason he defied his entire family, stole a guitar, and risked eternal spiritual doom. And now, that idol is looking at him with the same cold, dead expression he probably had when he poisoned Hector. Oh no. The realization hits. The tension is thick. But how did Pixar manage to pull this off in just 49 seconds? I'll tell you. They handed us a sepia-tinted flashback of doom. Just when Miguel's world is already crumbling faster than Ernesto's credibility, Hector makes the connection. The movie playing in the background? Way too familiar. The words, the scene, the way the villain, clearly based on Ernesto, offers a drink and then walks his friend away into the night? Suddenly, Hector's memories flood back. The warmth of the night, the bustling sounds of the train station in the distance, the weight of Ernesto's arm around his shoulder, guiding him down the street like a trusted friend. Hector had no reason to doubt him. He had told Ernesto he was leaving, going back to his family, his daughter. He had his whole life ahead of him. And Ernesto had smiled. He had handed him a drink. And Hector, tired, excited, full of hope, had taken it. And then the dizziness, the numbness in his limbs, the way his legs gave out beneath him, the shock, the confusion, the sheer horror as he realized something was wrong. Ernesto had bent down, had looked him in the eye, had watched as the poison did its work. And then he took the songs, took everything. Ernesto hadn't just betrayed Hector, he had erased him. And the audience, oh, they felt it. Because this wasn't some cheap, one-dimensional villain plot twist. This was a man who built an entire empire on the bones of his best friend, who had the audacity to turn it into a movie and laugh about it decades later. And that's when the mask completely drops. The second the truth is out, Ernesto doesn't try to deny it. He doesn't panic. He doesn't stammer out some desperate excuse. Oh no, he doubles down. Because this is who Ernesto has been all along. The beloved icon, the charming grandfatherly figure, the man who encouraged Miguel to seize his moment, all in act. The real Ernesto, a power-hungry narcissist who will do whatever it takes to protect his legacy. He doesn't just gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, he murdered, manipulated, and muscled his way into history. And when Miguel dares to stand against him, yeets the poor boy straight into a pit. Because, let's be honest, Ernesto doesn't actually care about Miguel. The moment Miguel became a threat to his reputation, the moment he even hinted at exposing the truth, Ernesto saw him as disposable. The sheer brilliance of this reveal isn't just in the what, it's in the how. Pixar crafted these 49 seconds flawlessly. The subtle foreshadowing throughout the movie, the eerily accurate reenactment in Ernesto's old film, the way the music swells just as Hector remembers the poison, masterclass. And the way Miguel reacts, devastatingly real. This isn't some distant tragedy from the past. This isn't just about Hector anymore. This is personal. Because Miguel believed in Ernesto, idolized him, saw him as the key to his dreams. And now, that same man just tried to kill him. Twice. Wow, Pixar really went hard on this villain reveal. Like, this isn't Scar shoving Mufasa off a cliff hard. This is I will murder a child in front of a party full of people and feel absolutely zero guilt hard. Alright, let's break down why Ernesto's twist is chef's kiss perfection. The clues, they were there all along. Ernesto's obsession with seizing the moment? Yeah, turns out it meant seizing someone else's entire career and then literally murdering them. The way Hector never got credit for his music? Not just a sad backstory, it was a crime scene. Even that whole singing from the heart thing? Ernesto never did that. Why? Because his heart was cold, like freezer-burned churro cold. Like leftovers in the fridge for 6 months cold. It's not just about the reveal, it's about what it means for Miguel. His idol isn't just a fraud. He's the reason his family suffered for generations. This isn't just your hero let you down. This is your hero was a literal villain the whole time. And also, he's trying to kill you now. That is existential crisis material. You see, this is the moment everything changes. Ernesto's warm golden glow, gone. Now he's cast in shadows, colors drained, eyes darker. The party, once grand and mesmerizing, cold, lifeless. The illusion is shattered, and everything is green, because green means poison. Green means envy. Green means you just got played. The heart of Coco, beyond the music, beyond the stunning visuals, beyond the incredible cultural depth, is this moment. This one devastating minute where everything clicks. Where a boy's dream shatters before our eyes. Where an empire built on lies and betrayal finally crumbles. And where the true hero of the story, Hector, the forgotten musician who just wanted to go home to his daughter, gets to reclaim his legacy. Ernesto de la Cruz was never the legend. He was just a thief with a good singing voice. And in the end, love, or Coco, as I'm going to call it, because, I mean, look at this woman. It doesn't belong to him. It belongs to Miguel, to Hector, to family. And that is why this 49-second villain reveal is one of the most impactful in Pixar history. But here's the thing about power-hungry narcissists. They always overplay their hand. Ernesto might be ruthless, but he's also cocky. And that is what destroys him. Because the moment he tries to hurl Miguel off the building, he doesn't just confirm the truth, he broadcasts it to an entire audience. An audience that had worshipped him, that had believed in him, that had celebrated his legacy. And when they see him for who he truly is, oh, they turn on him instantly. By the end of the film, Ernesto is no longer the untouchable icon of the land of the dead. He's forgotten, tossed aside, rejected, humiliated. A fitting end for a man who spent his entire afterlife trying to secure a legacy he never even earned. A fate destined only for people that aren't subscribed to my channel on YouTube. Of course, Ernesto gets what's coming to him, because karma in Pixar movies isn't just real, it's theatrical. And Ernesto's downfall? Oh, it's delicious. His villain arc ends in absolute spectacular disgrace. The man who spent his afterlife basking in stolen glory now finds himself exposed in front of an entire stadium. He's standing there basking in his delusions when suddenly, bam, the evidence rolls in. His own villainy broadcasted on the biggest screens in the land of the dead. Every single soul in the crowd watching, judging, gasping. And then the yeet. Not just any yeet, the yeet of justice. One minute he's standing tall, the next he's flailing helplessly through the air, screaming as he's launched into the afterlife's version of an unskippable YouTube ad. And the irony? He lands right in the bell that nearly crushed him before. Full circle. His precious legacy? Ruined. His memory? Fading. His fans? Gone. Meanwhile, Miguel? Oh, he's thriving. The real hero. The one who restores his family, saves Hector's legacy, and proves that music, real music, comes from the heart. And Ernesto? Well, enjoy your eternity under that bell, buddy. And that, amigos, is why Ernesto's villain reveal is one of Pixar's greatest twists. It's dramatic, it's heartbreaking, and it completely redefines the entire movie. So next time you hear someone say, "Seize your moment," just remember, not all moments should be seized. And maybe don't drink anything offered by a suspiciously charming musician. Just saying.